Ladies and gentle hands, here we are in the expansion part of our hardcore world, and we are looking here at our brand spanking new paths that we worked on a little bit of a live stream. I plugged it last video. If you were there, thank you for tuning in and hanging out. I had a great time working on this path and getting all the terraforming done. Look, this path goes so far, goes over the hill and a little bit further, and the path looks very nice. But what good is a path without any points of interest to look at while you're traveling on it? So we're going to work on this general area over the next few episodes. And one of the main spots I want to work on is right here in the Cherry Grove biome. Now, I've never worked in a Cherry Grove biome before in these newer updates. So I think it'd be a nice little challenge, even though it's nothing too crazy, but using all of the new fancy grass and foliage from the Cherry Grove biome, I think we could create a really sick Japanese garden. Oh yeah, you heard me right. A Japanese garden would be so freaking awesome here in the middle of a Cherry Grove biome. Mostly because, you know, the cherry leaves and like just cherry trees in general are very popular in the Japan kind of style. So I feel like we could do some really interesting things, like make some custom trees, make a really sick like pagoda over there, a nice little like zen garden, you know, with like the rock formations on the ground. I have a lot of really cool ideas, and I've been trying to begin cooking up the start of it. But the first thing we need to do is work on clearing out the terrain and kind of get it all nice and pretty for us to begin working on it. Then after we get all the terrain cleared up, we got to get some resources going, because there's a lot of blocks in this build that I'm probably going to need to grab some resources for. Usually I have all the stuff I need for a build because I like gathering resources off camera. I'm a big just like kind of pop on Minecraft and grind kind of guy. But this time around, there's some interesting resources, like one specific resource that you can only get in creative, or so you might think. So without further ado, let's get clearing out on this terrain. Alright, phase 1 of the Japanese garden is complete. We have all of our terraforming done, and it's looking pretty okay. So yeah, we've installed our new paths right here. We got one on the left and we got one on the right, just to have a nice little fork in the road. I think it could be nice to maybe put some pink petals and some more cherry stuff right here in the middle, kind of leading up the mountain. We have some nice little stony cliff faces too, which I really do like. Kind of throwing in some moss too. Moss blends really well with the grass in the cherry blossom biome, which I quite like. But over here in this corner, we're doing like kind of a zen little bit of like a water feature with some flowing water, and we'll have some nice little like little green stuff sticking out the water. I can't remember what they're called, like the little mini lily pad things, drip leaves or whatever, the small drip leaves. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, just some basic rocks using some diorite, some mossy cobble, andesite, and regular stone just for some variety's sake. And I'm quite happy with how this is all looking so far. But in the middle here, you can see there's kind of a gap. There's not much going on. Why am I stuck? And that's because we're going to be making this whole middle area like a zen rock garden. I think that's what they're called proper. But essentially, it's going to be like a big old sand field with like the little grass, little hedges in the middle with some rocks on them and some really nice, stair formations that kind of look like those raked little rock gardens in Japanese gardens that you might typically see. So we're gonna have to start resource gathering for some of the blocks that are necessary for some of the other buildings and for the Zen garden here. And there's one block in particular that we need, and it's called Suspicious Sand. Now, some of you might be saying, "Oh no, Barce, that's a creative exclusive block. What are you doing?" No, we can get it in survival. Yes. It's not a fun one to get in survival, but it is very much possible. So I say, let's go find some suspicious sand and gather it. I gotta go grab a few things for this neat little trick, and then I'll see you guys at some suspicious gravel locations, or sand locations, yes. Alright, we found our first desert temple right here. I think I've explored this one before. Maybe hinted by that torch. But down here, we should hopefully have some suspicious sand for us to gather. I think in these corners, some can spawn. Oh, yeah, okay. So here's our first one. Okay, cool. So typically when you're digging out these things, if you accidentally break one of these suspicious sands, which you can tell by the ever so slightly texturing on it, if you accidentally break one of these or you like break the supporting block underneath it, it will shatter and break and it won't drop itself like normal sand does. So we need to find a method where we can collect said sand without breaking anything. And the best method to do this is using cobwebs. Oh, okay, so I just broke one right there. Fun. All right, we got a few pieces of the sand around here, so we need to dig underneath it by about a block like this. We got to give it some room. And I think if we place like 5 cobwebs, I don't actually know the number. All I know is that this is a method, okay? But if we wait long enough, if we essentially run out the timer on a falling sand entity, you know, when it's falling like that, it turns into an entity. And if we run out the timer on it, eventually Minecraft will give up and it'll just be like, fine, we'll just pop out the item for you. We're going to stop calculating the physics on this thing, the falling sand on it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I guess we'll just try it out. So we break this guy, boom. And now it's going to start falling. And this is going to take forever. Oh, okay. That worked a lot faster. I don't think we need 5 at all. We probably only need like 2 or 3. But here we are. Suspicious sand is in our inventory. And we can place it down and everything. It won't have any loot table in it like it normally would. Like typically when you sift through it with the brush and everything, you might get an item. But when we place it down, you don't get any items at all. But it's actually really good to know that we don't need a bajillion freaking pieces of cobweb. It seems like we only need maybe 3 pieces of cobweb. I didn't really pay attention, to be honest. I thought it was going to take longer. But we can just do this right here and we can get 2 more pieces. It'll take a little bit longer. Maybe we... it should be fine. It should be fine. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, that was... yeah, it's pretty fast. Okay, that's really good to know. So we can just do like 3 to be safe, and then we can drop it like that. And we just rinse and repeat. And there we go. All right, we got 7 pieces right now. I really don't remember how many I need from this. Let me make sure I got them all. Yes, that's just sandstone. But our hunt shall continue. We got to go find a few more temples. I think temples are like the best way to find that stuff. Also, I just realized I probably didn't even loot the actual temple down below. We may as well go check it out. Let's see. Okay, hold on. I have PTSD. I'm going to block off all this. Oh, okay. Some smithing templates. Sure. Silk touch is nice. Sure. Anyways, let's go find a few more temples. Hopefully there's some more. This is a pretty big desert, so I just got to keep flying around and see what we come up with. So I spent about another hour or so going through a bunch of desert temples out in the massive desert area that we have. It's actually way bigger than I thought, but thank goodness there was a bunch of temples because we got plenty of suspicious sand for our suspicious endeavors. Anyways, there's supposed to be a montage right now for all the cool resource gathering I'm supposed to be doing, but the replay had corrupted for all my resource gathering, which is actually really unfortunate because I had a really fun idea for it. But anyways, here's a clip of me complaining about resource gathering. I'm currently in the middle of my resource gathering phase, and I just want to share with you guys the tedious process of using mushroom stems in Minecraft builds in survival. This is ridiculous, man. I get 4 per mushroom in my little mushroom farm here. Then I have to break all of this stuff right above here just to get my mushroom stems and my overly complicated little storage system over there just for my mushroom blocks. It's actually so ridiculous. I just wanted to share this with you guys because this is the most tedious part. And I have to collect 9 stacks. And I think currently I only have about 3 stacks. So, very fun. Time flies though, I will say. Mostly because it takes forever. Also, while I was gathering all these resources, a freaking spider came out of my microphone. Yeah, not terrifying at all. I was totally okay with it. I did not freak out or anything and take 30 minutes to get rid of a spider. Oh, no, 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 no. The spider is gone now. He's no longer with us, and he's no longer in my microphone. Anyways, with the use of editing magic, we shall be over at the Japanese garden and begin working on our builds because hopefully by then I'll have all my resources ready to to begin building finally. I think I have issues. Minecraft issues. This was an insane amount of resources I had to gather. Look at all of these. Okay, those two weren't impressive, but these ones all around here are pretty freaking crazy. I had to gather so many different types of resources flying around my world, getting X, Y, and Z. And I think this is the most amount of shulker boxes I've ever had to make for a build. A single build. I might have gotten a little too ambitious, maybe bitten off more than I could chew, but we're gonna swallow it. Anyways, I think it's been enough time. I'm done gathering all these resources. I want to start building. I want to start doing something and making something look cool and awesome around here. So let's get started on working on our first building. I think we're going to work on this nice little corner building here, which is a very, very sick building. And there's a lot of really nice details in there. I'm really excited to, talk about that. And maybe the Zen garden here too. We will work on this probably first, just because it is kind of one of the more central focuses, even though it's a very big negative zone or negative space in the whole build area. But I'm very excited to work on this. So, of course, as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the montage. Oh my goobly gob. Look at this building. Holy moly. This thing is so nice. I am very happy with how this has turned out. Exactly how I envisioned. Yes. And of course, there's also the Zen garden right here, which unfortunately turned out pretty well. But as you can see, Minecraft stairs are pretty annoying. Like, look at all this right here. I could not, for the life of me, get it to work how I wanted it to. Essentially, I wanted to have little tiny rings of the stairs, kind of the indent of the stairs, going around the little grass, little spots right there. And like in some spots it kind of works, like right here it works pretty decent. But like over here it's all messy, and these ones, like these stairs, are just kind of tweaking out for no reason. Like I don't know why it's doing this. I was messing with it for probably about like 30 minutes, and then I gave up and I said, all right, you know what? It is what it is. Yeah, hopefully in like future Minecraft updates, they maybe fix some of the stair orientation issues, or like how it all connects up. Or maybe there's a mod or something that can kind of give me some more fine tuning on all that. But anyways, the actual building itself is way more interesting than the Zen garden. The Zen garden is just a nice little negative space for your eye to kind of rest while you're looking at the beautiful buildings around here. So first we have the double layered glass, which is always a classic little trick here to make little kind of smaller looking window frames using the two glasses connecting there. It kind of makes a nice little rectangle shape inside the square. And these are all looking very nice, using some signs here to kind of border a little bit of it. We got a little bit of the white concrete and cherry wood in there just to give a little bit of texturing to the whole little, white facades of the building. And then on the second floor is the more interesting part, because we are using a bunch of banners to create the texture that I was looking for. I wanted a nice little cross-stitching kind of texture going on, kind of like a lot of the paper walls that you see in Japan. And I wanted to create that kind of texture on the top roof here. And we're using some dark oak trapdoors there on the top. And then we're also using a lot of banners. We even got a little bit more detailed than we needed to. These banners have a specific pattern on them. You can see there's a little bit of a gradient going from white to then just like the straight striped lines. And then it goes back up to white there on the gradient. Very cool little trick there. And the main reason we use the banners is because the back texture of them has this nice little, post texturing with the cross on it. And if we stack them up, it looks like a nice little window frame. It looks really nice and detailed. Without the, trapdoors right here, there would just be kind of a blank spot on the bottom of all these. So I ended up adding in all the nice little trapdoors to make this all feel connected. Oh yeah, and we have a little bit of candles up there for a little bit of hidden lighting, which I think adds such a great level of ambiance to this whole area that I'm very happy with. And then this building right here, I don't think it made it into the montage because I might have forgotten to hit record, but that's okay. This little building's like a tea house is kind of what I imagine. You know, we have a nice little seating area right here using some armor stands to kind of look like, you know, table legs right there. Nice little inside here with a little lantern going on, nice little roof or whatever. Nothing too crazy. Use a nice prismarine roof. And we got the really fancy sloped roofs here. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. I'm tired, okay? Leave me alone. But these roofs are very difficult to make because the shape to get them correct, it's very mathematical. I think it's like y equals x squared. Not that it means anything, but you know, it's kind of has a bit of a sine look to it. If you're familiar with like sine waves and everything. So we have to kind of keep it very smooth and it gets very sharp, you know, a little bit exponential. We did a little bit of it on the top roof here, but we kind of stuck with a nice and simple roof design up there just to kind of contrast the bottom here just a tiny bit. All right, we still have a bunch more work cut out for us. We have the whole little water area here, which we need to start filling up and putting all of our decorations in here. I think we're going to do some nature work. We make a few trees, add in a bunch of grass around here. I'll just make the area feel a lot more alive. And of course, bamboo. Bamboo, it just makes sense. I'm really excited to work on a few custom trees for this area, especially like some custom cherry trees. Because I think that'll really help bring this whole area together and make it feel way more alive. And then we'll make some smaller variants too that we can kind of dot in on the in-betweens. And then we'll see where to go from there. But I have a lot of really, really fun ideas for the actual terraforming itself. We'll add in some rocks around this area too. I mean, I recently went around to an actual Japanese garden near where I live. And I got a lot of inspiration, a lot of pictures. But anyways, let's jump back into the montage. All right, we've made a little bit more progress. It doesn't really look like much, but it feels like much. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. But here we have the little garden area with all the water features and all the little cattails and all the little small drip leaves and everything, all looking nice and cohesive over here. I really like how this is feeling right now. And all the bamboo too. Oh my goodness, the little bushy parts on bamboo look so sick, and it really helps just kind of fill up the air, you know, like the empty air space that we have around the area. And also these big old sakura trees is what I'm calling them. I think that's accurate. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am. But I kind of based it off of a bonsai tree, and then I just went in and added the cherry leaves because, you know, we're in a cherry biome. You got to have some pink color pop, you know? Then right back here, there's some nice little rock variants too. We got blackstone, tough, and deep slate looking really nice. And my favorite part is a little pop of yellow that we have occasionally in here, and also the pop of red that we threw in here with the crimson. Oh man, the crimson roots look really nice, kind of just peeking over, kind of blending in with the grass. It just adds a nice little bit of color to the rest of the area here. And we also have a little bit of wheat growing too for a little bit of a differentiation from the dry grass there. And then we have these weird little like totem things right here. Unfortunately, I really wanted to make, you know, a proper shrine looking thing. I don't know exactly what they're called. I believe they're called suisekis. I don't know Japanese, so I definitely butchered that name, but that's what they are. You know, I tried my best to recreate it using the what is this one called? The dead horn coral for like a little bit of texturing to kind of get that nice, you know, level of detail in there. You know, obviously it's 1 block wide, so there's not a lot of room for detail. Use another armor stand trick down there to connect it with the ground. Overall, this whole area is really coming together, but there's one more thing I want to work on, and it's going to be like the key big thing to look at. I want to make a big old pagoda back here, and it's gonna look so awesome. I want to do a red roof, you know, to kind of really stand out from the rest of the area here. You know, we have a green roof, a blue roof, a black roof, and we have all these cherry trees. So I think a nice red roof pagoda back here would look so awesome. And this whole area, by the way, I don't know if I said it earlier, but this whole area is based off of Ekritique City from Pokemon of, you know, Silver and Gold. I love those games. And originally I wanted to do a burned tower back here, but I think in the future, there's a nice little spot. Maybe we back up over here. Yeah, like right over here, there's a really nice spot where we can make another pagoda, and maybe we make it kind of like a burned tower. I think that could be really sick. Oh no, our freaking Japanese garden's getting raided. Are you kidding me? Also, I want to show you guys what this looks like from all the way back over here, where you're kind of going to see it for the first time when you come around the corner. I have not really seen it from back here. Oh, okay, yeah, it's feeling really nice. These trees really help fill in the area. I like it so much. These little guys right here too, these different little tree variants we made, they're supposed to be maple trees, and typically maple trees are red-leaved, and I just really don't like using glass and terracotta and like the copper grates and stuff for leaves, because frankly in Minecraft I feel like it's really difficult to make trees look like, you know, having those colored leaves work with them not being leaf blocks. Yes, okay, I'm kind of struggled to say that, but I think you get my point. Regardless, I'm pretty happy with how this is all turning out, and I think once we add in the big pagoda back here as like our focal point for the whole area, it'll really help everything tie together, and we'll have a nice, you know, view from all the way back there. But I'm quite happy with how this has all come together. So we have one more thing to work on, of course, the pagoda. And I think we just got to do one more montage. This has been a lot of work to work on. So, of course, if you made it this far into the video, please consider liking the video and subscribing. I would really appreciate it. It would make me really happy if you did. Anyways, let's jump into it. One last montage. So, as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the montage. That pagoda really helps tie this whole place together. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy with how this turned out. This whole Japanese garden is such a vibe. I am so in love with just all the very subtle colors we have throughout the whole area. And then the very broad colors we also have kind of just hinted throughout the whole place using the roofs for that. Oh yeah, I'm just so happy that this all turned out. Now, my only issue with this area is that we don't have any real reason to ever come over here. So I think in the future, maybe we try to add in a few farms around the area. Maybe we try to make some individual buildings where these farms can be housed, or maybe we just throw them underground and call it good. But I got this bee's nest here from a tree earlier, and I think it'd be kind of nice to maybe throw them in right there. Give the bees a nice little home to hang out. I think I need to shear it so they can like come on outside. There you go. So this pagoda here is like my official introduction into the Japanese architecture style. I am very much happy with how this all turned out. I got the nice little roof slant there. I took a lot of inspiration from the Japanese garden that I visited, but there wasn't any like big pagoda buildings like this. So there's actually someone I need to credit specifically. Yes, credit to Paranoid Pixel Person for the roof design right here. It was very tough making this roof, and yeah, I'm very grateful for the very few references there are for Minecraft Japanese architecture style in this game. Now we got some cool little tidbits in this tower. All the way up here, we're actually using regular glass to create some nice little shapes for the top little spire here. We got a nice little lightning rod at the top there. Maybe stop a few forest fires around the area with that lightning rod. But I'm very happy with how that looks. Even the glass there has a nice little texture to it that I'm very much of a fan of, but it's mostly for the walls there to have the T, the cross shape on them. It's very hard to tell, but it's all the subtle things that really help this whole place come together. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it when I was first doing these circles here, but we got all this suspicious sand in here. It's such a minor little texture thing, but it works super well. Unfortunately, it didn't gather as much as I wanted to. So a few spots here, I used some of the upside down sandstone stairs. And when you place them like this, you get the normal smooth texture. But when you place them upside down, you get the cobbled texture from the sandstone. It's very clean. And yeah, I used it all throughout here in some random spots just to kind of help fill out the areas where there's supposed to be suspicious sand. And then we're just using the sandstone instead. Bee! Oh my goodness, hello! What are you looking for? There's no flowers over here. That's your whole flower over there. Oh man, he's just gonna wander off and die. I'll never see the bees again. Oh, Minecraft, please fix the bee AI. It's so annoying. But yeah, as I mentioned in the clip earlier, I think eventually we can continue to expand out the Japanese area. We can get a nice little like shrine over here, another pagoda. And then maybe we can make a path kind of leading all the way over to access this one. Maybe we could put a farm inside this building. That would actually make a lot of sense. There's a lot of room on the inside. I made a little bit of an entrance right here, but there's not like anything inside. Nothing interesting. Oh, there you go, bee. You're getting your pollen? Why is he doing it on the... I don't know, man. He's tweaking and geeking, man. But anyways, y'all, enough rambling because this episode is already way later than I want it to be. Sorry for the late upload, but I think that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and like the video. And if you really liked me, maybe consider joining as a member. Also, if you're interested in catching some live streams or future uploads, make sure to turn on notifications for the channel or consider joining my Discord in the description down below, discord.gg/barce. But anyways, y'all, that's going to do it. Bye.